I changed my major from being a history major to an accounting major right before school started. I remember when I was in freshman orientation, I was talking to one of the other kids that was there. I was telling him why I became an accounting major, why I chose that. I told him that it was a safe, steady career. So now, in retrospect, in other words, I chose something that is practical, which I've learned at this point, 6 years later, that practical choice isn't always the best choice. Alright, so after I decided to be an accounting major, when I first started out college in the University of Nevada, Reno, my first 2 years there, well, now that I think about it, nothing very spectacular happened in a macro sense. Now, I was really caught up in the daily grind, work and school. So I was working 2 jobs at the time. And I was the high school me, the high school senior me, the one that one of my teachers called the ultimate nonconformist. That Kingston was dormant for the next 2 years. I was so caught up in doing the day-to-day tasks. I was working and going to school. Of course, I was privileged in the sense that being from a low-income family, I didn't have to pay for tuition out of pocket. I had federal grants and school grants which cover most of it due to my income level. And this is even in spite that I was studying out of state, which made tuition more expensive. Being from California and studying in Nevada, it's more expensive doing it that way. So tuition was pretty much covered for me already. Really the biggest expense that was after that would be rent, which I covered with 2 jobs. I worked as a front desk assistant as well as a helper in the school's cafeteria. As the front desk assistant, really, I just sat there and watched people come in and out of the dorms, and just making sure nothing happens. And I could do my homework along the way during my work shifts when it's slow. And as a helper, sometimes a server, sometimes a cook, I would pretty much, I had the job, and it actually helped me cover some of my food expenses, because I would take food from the cafeteria there. And I made the best sandwiches, at least I think I did. So that was most of my expenses, and anything left besides tuition, rent, and food, with anything small miscellaneous, I covered with a summer internship that was paid when I did that in New York State, talk about later. I had parental help, which, of course, I won't lie about that, as well as some student loans, which isn't really much. So that was college, it wasn't really a large financial burden from my perspective, which I know now that I'm privileged to say that, because I know a lot of people, in America especially, they struggle with their tuition and all the other related expenses. So that was the first 2 years. I was just revolved around these 2 things of work and school was homework, which with a small amount of club activities. I did taekwondo and archery, and really that was my life. And I remember when I was in my 3rd year, my junior year in college, it was the beginning of the semester, and my accounting professor, one of my accounting professors, she was going around the class and asking us for our name and one thing that we thought was special about us. So when it got to my term, name's Kingston. One thing special about me is I'm left-handed. This professor, is called Dr. V, she then addressed the body of the class and asked, who else here is left-handed? A large handful of my peers, they raised their hand. She then looked back to me, said, there's nothing special about you. She moved on to the next student. I was a bit irked by the one-off that the one-liner that she gave me. She just blew me off. after class, I would be thinking about all these comebacks that I would say that I would have said to Dr. B, which now in retrospect I realize that's stupid because, one, she holds my grade, so why would I try to offend her? Two, that's trying to come with a comeback over something so trivial. Well, what's the point? And three, later on the semester, I've learned that Dr. B was actually a very good professor. She was very passionate about what she did. Well, she actually cared about her students. So now, in hindsight, that I think about what she said, I have a better understanding of why she just threw me off during the first time we met. So I realize now that really, I didn't do anything that was special. You know, saying I'm being left-handed, that was something that is God-given. You know, that's not something I earned, not something I achieved. It's just something that was given to me. And since it was just given to me, that's why Dr. B made this on-the-spot analysis of me, on-the-spot judgment of me, which now I know is true. You know, there was nothing special about me at that point. I didn't do anything. I was just going to school and working. I was just getting by. Now that I think about it, I was in a premature rat race. What I mean by that is, when you break down the rat race, when people talk about the rat race, break it down to its essence, it's really, when you're in a rat race, you spend 100% of your time trying to meet your responsibilities. And you spend 0% of your time trying to go after your dreams, which was what I was doing, you know, spending all my time just meeting my responsibilities and doing nothing to try to build the stepping stones to get to where I wanted to be. And at that point in my life, past 2 years, I didn't put much thought on what I ultimately wanted.